There's levels to this shit. What's poppin', Scott?
Popping cans.
Popping cans. What do you got there?
This is a Hanson's natural sparkling lime water.
You know Hanson's is the company, the parent company of Monster Energy.
I read that. You're right.
Yeah, that's who we used to get deliveries from all the time when I lived with Catfish.
Okay. Makes sense.
Extremely important information that we're beginning this podcast with. Thank you to our sponsor, Hanson's.
Holler.
Bop. Anyway, today we're here with two Midwest studs, per se. Morgan Long and Dan Kruk. Slightly different generations. Dan is 20. Morgan is 26. Morgan, you're from Illinois.
Yep.
Dan, you're from Milwaukee. Let's just get that out in the open there.
And I am actually 21.
21 now. Okay. Woo! Congratulations.
Fun.
How was your 21st birthday?
Pretty fun, actually.
What'd you do? Did you drink too much?
I didn't drink a lot, but I drank enough.
Don't you have to
Let's just say that.
What is your attitude on drinking? Because I know you hang out with Grant C and the straight edge militia. You try to keep it on the low key type when you're around Hinkens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really like the taste of beer, honestly. So if I do drink, it's usually just like something mixed, like a rum and coke or something like that.
Well, you're young.
Yeah.
At some point in your life, you just start drinking everything, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Shout out to Dan for sneaking into the bar in Chicago before he was 21, buying me drinks.
Really?
I did, yep.
Were you in the bar like from a really young age?
Oh, yeah, pretty much like, I mean, just being on BMX trips, like obviously everybody's older than me, so we'd always have to try to figure out a way to get me in. So I've been through a lot of back doors. I've used a lot of fake IDs. Shout out to Dan Foley for letting me use his ID once.
How do you, well, I don't know. Should we start with Dan or should we start with Morgan? Morgan's older.
Let's flip a coin.
So Morgan's story goes back. How the hell are we going to find a coin? Let's roll a jug.
I think I got a quarter.
Let's flip an above below. This would be really funny.
All right, heads we start with Dan. Tails we start with Morgan.
Okay.
This is heads.
Above or below?
It doesn't land on either of them.
No, whip it into the air. Throw it at Vicente's head like a ninja star.
Vicente, ready?
The same outcome.
I feel like.
Okay, we're starting with
All right. Let's just say, okay. What was? I'm going to give seniority to Morgan. Okay, right. Morgan. What was it like growing up in Illinois? What kind of scene did you come out of? And what's the specific town?
Quincy.
Quincy. Okay.
Quincy, Illinois. It's
It sounds quaint.
Yeah, it's super small.
How small?
It's 40,000 people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's but it's like one of the bigger cities in Illinois, but all around it is basically just farm towns, surrounded by farm towns. It's on the river, and the closest thing to it is probably St. Louis.
Oh, how many hours away is St. Louis?
Like 2 hours south.
And you grew up riding what?
Just around Quincy, and then we would always go to St. Louis.
So there was actually enough street to ride street, or were there some skate parks and
spots.
stuff?
Never a skate park. Like all the older homies, Evan and all those dudes, they had a skate park when I was in like 8th grade that lasted like a year.
Really?
Yeah, and those dudes were all like 18 at the time.
So Evan was one of the OGs in the scene
sure.
from a young age for you? Anybody else in particular?
Yeah, just Nathan Parker.
Okay.
He's like, dude, that's back in St.
Worked
Louis
for
now.
Tree for a while and stuff?
Exactly. Him, Andy Chapman, he worked for Tree for a while. Josh Delcor, dude that lives with me now.
Shout out to Josh Delcor, the craziest pizza guy I know. Is he still a pizza guy?
He still is a pizza guy, and he's doing Jimmy John's now.
Wow.
Bicycle delivery.
I'm surprised he didn't switch over to Uber yet.
He doesn't have a car that really works.
His pizza delivery car blew up, so
really,
no more.
Damn, fucking Uber is like delivering pizza, but without all the cash exchanging hands and all the hot cheese melting all over your face mid-drive.
Yeah, your car doesn't smell like pizza.
Yeah. You ever have any weird jobs growing up in the Midwest?
I worked at Pizza Hut my first job.
Deliveries? Or
no, just worked there.
What was your favorite item to prepare at Pizza Hut?
Fuck, I didn't prepare, cook, or anything.
Oh, they didn't let you get to that level?
I prepared the dough. So.
You prepared the dough?
Doughboy fresh.
How long did you last there?
I was there like a year, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. And any great memories? Like what age was this? Like 14?
No, I was like 16.
Okay.
First job.
Right.
I would somehow always get off for like random trips and shit, so it worked out.
Yeah, were you going on BMX trips since a young age?
Yeah, I was like tagging along with Evan when I was like 15, going to the East Coast for a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like working on his dig interview and shit, and I would tag along and.
Right, because he was sponsored by Stolen and stuff at the time too.
Inopia, pretty much.
Inopia before that too, right? Yeah.
Shout out to George Horning, dude. The
Yo,
man.
Eben had a really, really crazy Inopia edit or commercial at one point, I believe. Yeah, and I think I remember Steve-O showing me the footage like way early on.
Dude, Steve-O like filmed him doing some shit at the banks.
Yes,
and this
yeah.
is like when the come up was brand new.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
And Evan's like, I don't know. He sent it to this dude, and he posted it on the website. You know, and like he had no idea what it was, but it was way back.
little did he know. Yeah, that's dope. So was there a turning point when you got sponsored, or when you got more serious about riding, or were you always just super stoked on it?
I was always stoked. Just having all the older dudes in like my hometown was like key, you know. So they had the skate park. It was called Old School Ramp Park, and those dudes ran it when they were like still in high school.
Right.
And it was all them and just like one random kid's mom or whatever that helped them like kind of get it started. It lasted like I said, like a year, and then it just kind of went away just because the dude turned out being like pretty sketchy that ran the building and everything. And
right.
then after that, we didn't have a park for a while, but Evans always had like a ramp in his backyard, so that was like the staple spot in town. Like,
so you're a master ramp rider? Can you blast the quarters?
I can blast a quarter. Kinda.
I've seen you blast a quarter. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I can air a quarter. I mean,
I can't. I've never even tried.
Like, blast. But
Scott, what's the biggest air you ever did?
Out of a quarter?
Yeah.
Very minuscule.
Yeah.
I used a fisheye lens to film it, and it looked like
Hell
it was
yeah.
pretty good.
what age are we talking here?
15.
Okay. Were you
Shango-
making videos
Shango
at a
one.
super young age?
Yeah. I probably like 15, 16.
Web videos?
Or
Or was this before
this
that?
is like before web videos,
Right.
really. Yeah, I don't even know.
10 years ago, 2004, 2005.
I remember trying to like film something for like one of the Aspires, but
Right,
it never,
yeah, yeah.
like never. I ended up getting hurt. And
It
shit,
never
so-
really panned out.
Yeah, I
Have
never,
you,
like-
you've been plagued by injuries since the
Dude, I
younger
feel
days, or is this lately?
I mean, fuck, I don't know. It's just normal. I don't know why everyone thinks I'm like. I mean, I know the 2 things in a row is like.
what was it?
shitty.
Just 2 knee surgeries in a row recently?
I broke my one leg and then hurt my other knee on the other leg.
And these were both
That was like in the same year, so.
in like but recently, right?
No, it's been like fucking 3 years.
Oh,
4 years.
okay. And how's your knee doing these days?
Dude, I'm dialed. It's
Really?
good. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I don't
good to
know why
know.
everyone's like. I feel like everyone's always still bringing it up, and I'm like, fuck, man. It's been almost 4 years.
I
you
think
know?
you're totally right, because I feel like I was like under the impression that you were hurt for like hella long for that.
I mean,
for a
I was
while.
definitely hurt for a minute. You know, like the whole leg thing was just a normal 5-month thing or whatever,
Right.
and then that was. There's not really that much rehab and shit for that, so it's.
How'd you tear your ACL in the first place, though? What was it?
I was doing this gap to nose bone.
And what?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was trying to get one last clip for edit. I fucking go to this spot that I was like, there's pretty much no chance of riding because it's at a hospital and it's like 20 feet away from a security place.
Right.
And the booth is right there, and I was just like, fuck it, let's roll by. Like, I can pedal to it from my house. So
Right.
pedaled over there. The dude literally was walking out of the security booth and like making
get
his
you, or
rounds.
just-
no, just
oh,
make
giving
his
rounds.
rounds. And I was like, oh shit, like
This is my window.
I guess we can do this, And like, I run up to the top, and like I'd never actually been to the top of the spot because it's like by a security booth, So
Right.
I'd always seen it and just kind of rolled by, and I went up there. The runway was pretty fucked. Like it was like an S sidewalk, so I was like grass sidewalk, grass to go,
So you had never gotten like a full look at it before?
No,
I
just
feel like this
drove
is when people get hurt, is when they have to
Dude,
rush.
and I was just like super rushed. Not even that's why or anything, but yeah, like the first go, I bonked it, and it was just like a gap to like wall, but the wall was skinny, so it was like. Now that I look back, it's not even worth like fucking with it. Like it's one of those things I wouldn't even have did it justice of like, of how the spot is.
Right.
So, but yeah, I just went for it, bonked it, and looped out, and then I just like ran back up there, turned around, did it, and I just committed and missed, and just
That's-
OTB,
It's
straight
good to
the
hear
knee.
that your knee's doing better, because you kind of got fucked up on the Dan's video and the Fit video because of the
Yeah, it was
the
just coming back
It was
and
like
shit.
directly during that
Yeah.
time period, huh?
Like the dance thing started like while I was hurt, and
Right.
then I was definitely good, for like the last half of filming. But there's a million dudes on the team,
True.
so there's not that many trips I could get on. But yeah, and I was just getting back, so I wasn't like quite.
Have you
Yeah,
always been
feeling-
a pegless soldier?
No, I had pegs.
Oh,
I had
and-
pegs for a minute.
Until what age? Or when you were younger, or did you just try them out for a
I
while?
took them off like. I've had them off for like probably 4 years.
Okay,
Yeah, but I always had pegs, 2 pegs
right.
forever.
What was it?
What side?
Right. Yeah, everything.
Good.
Normal, right foot
I only
forward.
like hanging out with people who grind on the right.
Yeah.
It's very challenging for me when I start hanging out with, no offense to Sente, when I start hanging out with somebody who grinds on the left, because then it's like, no offense to Scott as well.
Are you lefty or what?
No, I'm a right side. But like when it's like me, Stevie, Brandon, it's like, oh, we all are right side. So
Yeah.
we all have that in common. Then you throw a lefty in the mix, it's kind of like,
I'm adapting.
who is this alien? Yeah, no, actually it's really good, because like realistically there's a lot of setups that are on one side and not the other,
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it that made you want to be a Pegless warrior, as I'm going to keep repeating over and over?
Because he's scared.
He's
Ooh.
always giving me shit for the no
Well, you're not a fan of Pegless riding?
I just think pegs are better.
I think pegs are better too, but I like seeing somebody who has no pegs that actually does
I
it
love
well.
seeing peg
you know?
shit. You know what I mean? I
Right.
always had pegs, always messed with it, but like I just never. All the shit I was more naturally drawn to was just the kind of stuff I ride. You know, so it's not, I just didn't use them as much as.
Were you just not into
Most.
grinding, or were you just not into pegs? Were you worn down pedals, worn down crank arms?
No, just more, just not. I just wasn't that into it.
Just
I guess.
wanted to wall ride some shit?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to wall ride some shit. I always wall ride and try to jump some shit.
You a Garrett
Real
Reeves
fast.
fan?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Do you ever see him riding anymore?
I see him around. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always kind of the same way, where we were always grinding shit around him, and he was just like, "No, I need to find a wall ride. I don't know what."
Yeah.
Something I gotta follow.
Just the shit that I guess when I was younger that got me psyched on street riding stuff was like always spots that weren't peg shit.
Who
Like,
were your favorite riders growing up?
definitely looked up to Stephen Hamilton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the kind of shit that he rode always just like caught my eye. Just
He was
'cause it
the definitely-
weird spots or something.
He was the dude that
like-
made Pegless riding look like this is something I probably should be doing, or it
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
look more valid. Garrett Burns too, but even Stephen Hamilton, I think, more showed like you really don't need pegs. Like you
Yeah.
can really do everything without it.
Yeah, just because he was like the way he rode shit too.
Yeah.
Just was like
He made riding look fun as hell.
yeah,
Grind a milk
exactly.
crate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
I love
the
that.
milk crate skid thing.
Yeah.
That was amazing because like I'd seen people do stuff like that, but then he put it on top of a ledge, did it super dope, and filmed it. And I was like, that is so cool that he actually
It made it look good.
had the balls to actually do something. Yeah, because like people forget that like Can I Eat All Day from Animal were kind of revolutionary at the time because nobody really would film a curb clip until
Yeah.
around then.
I can remember seeing like Can I Eat and specifically seeing like his section and seeing him like the clip of him wall riding down that curved rail.
Yes.
And like my mind was blown, just because like
Do you remember
you
when
never even thought of anything.
Do you remember
like
when you
that.
first figured out that curved wall rides work? Because I remember when they first came out on the scene and having my mind blown,
Yeah.
and we had to like recheck all the spots that we used to ride. Even though I was never good at them, but my friends were like obsessed with them.
I remember always being on the hunt in our hometown and there's no curved walls.
Really?
So, yeah, there's none.
Southern California though is not too bad for them, don't you think?
Yeah, there's definitely plenty.
They're around. There's a
We
few
got
around
everything.
around Hollywood. What do you think of Long Beach these days? I've heard people say it's blown out. Some people get offended when you say it's blown out. What are your thoughts?
I love Long Beach.
You
man.
do?
I love it.
What is
it? It's a good size. It's got a little everything.
It's got the small town feel, but it's still a city.
Yeah, I mean it's fucking big. It's still got like a little bit of a smaller town feel compared to like LA or something.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
I just like being able to pedal around everywhere.
Right.
It's so central.
Do
We
you
got a
do
mix of everything.
You
There's
still
definitely
manage to
spots.
find like stuff to film in there?
Dude, I'm still finding so much stuff. Constantly, man, all the time.
Who do you mostly ride with out there?
Most of the roommates used to be Eric L, but
Yeah, you just took
Yeah.
off back to VA, huh?
Yeah.
That was your Pegless brother.
the Pegless homie.
Yeah, that sucks. Fucking,
Yeah.
what was that all about? He just couldn't find a job out here or something, so he moved back?
I mean, I think he just had like a good opportunity for a job back there,
Oh, okay.
and just
He's got to be one of your favorite riders too.
Yeah,
I'm
he's the
assuming
homie.
he's definitely one of the sickest Pegless riders
Yeah.
ever. His stranger part is the stuff of we're still gonna be talking about it in 10 years. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
yeah. Shout out to Eric L.
Shout out to Eric L. Do you just ride or do you have a job or anything these days?
I work a little bit. Yeah, I just help out at a buddy's bike shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At Revolt.
No, it's this buddy. He has like a couple. It's not really like a BMX shop. It's just like a general shop, and he has two shops. One in Bellflower, one in Downey.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of random because when I first moved here, we just like found an apartment online.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a car or anything, and then Evan had a car. We found an apartment like online.
So that first apartment, the one that's on the second floor of right above, what is it, the nail salon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we still live there.
Oh, you still do live
Yeah,
there,
we're
but
still-
but who was the original crew that moved out there? You and Eben?
Well, originally, yeah, me and him lived in like Bellflower way back,
Uh-huh.
and then we ended up randomly just moving across the street from this bike shop, and like we're like, oh shit, bike shop, whatever. And
Right.
I didn't even think of like trying to get a job there or whatever, just because I don't know. Back home, bike shops are all like family owned and like a
Right.
small little niche group of people working there or whatever. But eventually, I couldn't really find work, and like I randomly went in there one day, and I was just like, yo, you guys need some help. And it just worked out to where I ended up getting a job there. It's like literally across the street from my apartment, so I could just walk there.
Do they do any BMX? Or,
Yeah, they do a little bit.
So you enjoy working on bikes and stuff like that? Comes pretty natural, or?
it's all right. Whatever. It's just whatever.
You don't like getting your hands dirty?
No, I definitely like wrenching on the shit for sure.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
I'd like to get into that. I need to get a job at a bike shop. I can find one that'll hire me.
Nah, I mean I can wrench.
Let's see.
But yeah, I'd rather
I can wrench.
I can wrench on shit better than I can sell shit. You know what I mean? I'm not a salesperson at all. So.
See, I would like to be a BMX salesman, but I don't know what the hell's out here.
I mean, I can sell BMX shit all day, but
right.
just because we
your signature product.
Yeah, here's the fit Hoodbird. You're gonna want a few of these.
pretty much
You're
the
gonna
only
want 2
frame
of these.
available. You're gonna need 2 of these.
It only works with these bars and grips. Too.
What are these peg things? No. Don't worry about those.
Yeah, you don't need those.
Could you see yourself staying in Long Beach forever? Is it? Have you found your home?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends on how it works
I like
out.
it a lot for sure. If I'm going to be out here, then I think I'll probably be in Long Beach for a while.
Is it a little bit less BMX heavy? Since for a while when we first moved
it was
there,
crazy
it was
for a minute.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was wild for a minute. I couldn't go anywhere, like the store, the coffee shop.
Couldn't
or-
get
I couldn't go
food,
anywhere
yeah.
without seeing like
Not just a BMXer, but like a pro BMXer.
a group,
Or
dude.
a
Not
group,
even
yeah.
one, just a group.
Yeah.
You know, like you might see multiples, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a little less hectic.
A little less hectic. It's like you guys, the volume guys, a bunch of locals. Jeff Z,
Tom V.
Tom V's out there. You
Yeah.
ride with him much?
Yeah. Tom
He
V.
caved. He put pegs on.
Yeah, he's off and on.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
off.
He's always off and on, I think.
Do you hold that against somebody?
Peg
When
trader.
is that like an edge break?
I always try to get people shit. It's
like when they start drinking,
I gotta
yeah.
say something for sure.
Well, it's like if Scott put a front brake on, I would have an issue with that.
Would you?
No, but I would make fun of you.
You make fun of me anyways.
Yeah, I think that's what friends do.
Not down with the front brake.
No, I mean front brakes are cool. It would look hilarious. I would be opposed
Yeah,
to
but
the
you
idea.
would definitely want to ride it at some point too. Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to try.
Exactly.
I just don't know if it would work at all.
Well, this
ever.
is strictly hypothetical. I'd never run.
Has
front
anyone
brakes.
ever ran a front brake here?
I've never
I mean,
ran
like,
a brake
on accident. Like my
on
complete-
accident.
How do you run a
complete-
front brake?
A
man?
complete bike that came with it. Hoffman
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Debo.
Just because you didn't know any better?
Doesn't really move it.
Shout out to Debo.
Oh yeah, he's my
I had a back brake for like 2 weeks when I first got a bike because like pretty much the reason why I got a BMX bike was because I thought the whole idea of having no brakes was so cool. That's pretty much why I got a
Really?
bike. Yeah, because I just couldn't believe it was possible.
I had a front brake for like a
Really?
tiny bit.
How was that?
I didn't like it.
You want to go back to it?
Never.
What about the free
I
coaster?
only did it because I was small and like all the older dudes like gave me shit for not at least trying it.
You guys are both pretty committed cassette riders, right? Or
Dude switched over.
you switched over? Okay.
You-
Purely for experiments.
Okay.
No, get out of here.
What kind of
Get outta here.
experiments?
You came.
Basically
Fakey.
just not being able to fakey with a cassette good. So
How long?
Week.
How long have you been on the coaster?
probably like 2 or 3 weeks.
Didn't you put it on and take it off and then put it back
Yeah,
on?
I've messed around with it a
Extra
little bit,
week.
but I just decided like kind of give it a full go right now, just just to see. Definitely helps a lot.
The weird thing about it is that I think like a lot of dudes that I know, like it makes them worse at riding, but then at the same time, like they can't go back because they just feel like I have this.
You
is
think
the,
it makes
this-
people worse?
Sometimes, like some people lose tricks. Like Stevie, like straight up is not as good at tail whips as he was when he had a cassette because that little
little
piece,
play.
Yeah.
that little crank. I think it just like helped him a lot and stuff. Like he still does them and stuff, but it just was a little bit different
It's just
trick.
a different
you know?
trick, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm loyal to the cassette for sure.
You think for life?
For life, yeah.
Okay.
I'll say that.
It's good to know. Good to know. So
But
we can-
I like to watch it and shit. It's just for my style of shit. It just doesn't really make sense.
yeah. How would you describe your style of riding that you're into now these days? Street setups.
Yeah, just setups. Really, I love just hunting spots. You know, and trying to find something and see what I can make work.
Right. How is what's the state of the Cement Face brand that you're a part of?
We're pretty slow right now. We're just, I
Making
don't know. I mean,
stuff here and
Evan's
there,
just,
though?
Evan's just been crazy busy doing some other shit.
Let's
so
get a full rundown of Cement Face.
Yeah, what was it supposed to be in the beginning? I was just saying, it's basically like Eben's like art.
yeah, it's
brand,
just, yeah,
right?
exactly. It's just something for him to be able to put a name to his art brand and anything he's doing that he's creating, I guess.
And to still like support BMX and stuff.
yeah,
and just be
I mean
involved
that's
in
where
something?
his roots are for
does,
sure.
Does he
so.
still ride or is he like art all the time?
Dude, he's so busy now that it's.
So
yeah.
he gets like a lot of jobs like for doing art stuff.
Yeah, he pretty much like when we first moved out here, like before we moved out here, we worked for like one of our homies back home that actually got Eben into riding, and he had like a custom paint shop. So we did like Eben was airbrushing like Harleys and shit back then. I quit my Pizza Hut job just to like do bitch work there and sand tanks and sand and do whatever shit I could do. Pretty much just sand everything.
Right.
So yeah, I just did that for a while. So he was obviously cool with us going on riding trips and shit. So that
Right.
worked. And then when he moved out here, he just tried to like do more with that, and he got involved with some like pretty crazy shops out here, and he's done some like cool jobs with that. So he's just been building off that, and then now he's just been doing more and more BMX shit. So
Are you into art at all? You have a similar art streak?
I mean, I feel like I can appreciate it for sure.
You could play Hangman or something, but you couldn't.
I mean, I don't have any like really like drawing ability or anything like
yeah.
that, but like I definitely have like ideas and like.
He's like, I got a portfolio site coming soon.
No, like, I definitely like to like see him create shit and help like give ideas and shit, and we're just like brainstorm like whatever different ideas for like themes or like an idea of something to create.
I think I remember going over your old apartment one time and walking into his room and just seeing all the art all over the place and just seeing he was like in the middle of a drawing, and I was just like, my jaw dropped. I was just like, holy fuck, dude, you are really about this. Like you are
Dude,
all day, every day.
He can do that all day, huh?
Dude,
That's what he
no
does,
lie
man.
does it like probably 10, 12 hours every day for sure.
Working on art.
In his room, just
Does
doing
he-
art. every day.
I mean, I know he's not here, but does he listen to music while he does that or anything?
Yeah, he listens to mad podcasts and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. Maybe we
Yeah.
could check out this TCU TV
No,
while
he's,
we're working on it.
he's always listening for sure.
At least we'll know I'll listen to this one. You know, he
Yep.
made me a cake too. That's the last thing I'm going to say
Oh,
about
yeah.
him.
Shout out to Chris
What?
Long.
That's crazy.
Because my mom wanted to like get me a cake to surprise me when we
Yo.
first opened the store, and Chris Long obviously doesn't know anybody else who does art, so he was like, "Yo, Eben, are you down to
Yo,
make
we
this
had him
cake?"
come into the clinic and do like the chalkboard, like the menu board or
Oh,
whatever.
really?
Too. Yeah, not
That's
even that
dope.
long ago.
Hell yeah!
He's done some random shit. But yeah, Cement Face Crew is just pretty much all based around him, you know, and his art. But it's just a good outlet to be able to put anything associated with whatever he's creating. But
That's dope. What's your relationship status these days?
girlfriend. Yeah.
Okay, I know. I
Yeah.
saw that you had a new girlfriend
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I knew the other girlfriend a
Yeah.
while back. Yeah. So
Yeah, I've just been dating this girl for a minute.
How long?
It's cool. Like 9 months, maybe.
you're a relationship kind of guy.
Never before.
Really?
Never before the ex. Never. Like,
Really?
Nah.
So I
just
think
was
she
like-
faves my tweets. I forget her name, but I think it's,
She must be into you.
no, I'm not saying that. No, but like, do you not function well as a single guy?
No, I function either way. I'm
Extremely
good.
well?
I don't need either to function. That's for sure.
See, I think I'm the different one. I can't function in a relationship. It just doesn't make sense to my brain.
I definitely couldn't like function in a relationship if it was like much stress or work at all.
Me being in a relationship is like me being a professional ballerina. Like it works out like equally well. It's just like is as logical a fit. Well,
I'd love to see both.
I want to ask about the relationship status with everybody now. That's like
I was not expecting that one.
no, I don't know. I just think it's fun to talk about because people always get kind of nervous. They don't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
Can we talk about shady ass doctors that tried to scam you or tried to
Yeah,
fucking
she was crazy. dude.
what? So what happened?
Pretty much like yeah, it was good the whole time. Like I never got sketched out like the whole process of going down there after like surgery and everything, and like all through rehab. My
So
shit.
so
like,
this doctor is the one who performed your knee surgery.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did the surgery, and like I got recommended through just pretty much Ashley Charles, who was like recommended through the ARF or whatever. But yeah, driving all the way to fucking San Diego, you know, like at certain points, like 2 times a week, 3 times a week, or whatever. Driving all the way down there just because I think this dude's like a legit ass doctor.
Right.
And through the surgery and everything was good, and then like 7 months in. He's like, all right, you're good. Like, you know, you're good to go. Just take it easy. Like, everything's been normal through the whole process. And then, I go on that dance trip and, like, tweak my knee.
And then they wanted to do it all over
Yeah,
again?
yeah. So I go in there because my knee's swollen and shit. And it's been a few weeks. So I go in just to, like, you know, make sure everything's cool. He checks me out. And he's like, all right, we'll give you an MRI. So he gives me an MRI, but it's like this sketchy. It's like a little like portable like tube that I just put my leg into instead of like going into the huge thing.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't really think about it because I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
You are quite obviously not a doctor.
yeah, I'm like, all right, whatever, you know. So he comes back and he's like, calls me the next week. I go down there because the results are in. And he's like, all right, so in this MRI, your ACL is not even showing up. And he's like, it just seems like your first surgery didn't take. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, the whole rehab, like, everything's been smooth. Like, I've been ahead of schedule, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, so we basically need to go in there and clean it up, like, at least your meniscus, clean up the meniscus, some scar tissue. And at that point, you know, when we're in there, if your ACL is, in fact, not there or, like, disconnected, then we'll just go ahead and, redo your ACL. And I'm like, wait. Like,
So basically you want me to have like a
yeah, so we're basically starting from
many
scratch.
thousands of dollars worth of surgery to maybe
Yeah, and at that point, like, my insurance is already paid.
I'm sure,
so, like,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
probably not going to cover another one.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm just like, yo, it's been going good, So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm just like, he literally is like, oh, do you want to book surgery right now?
Right.
And I'm like, no, And, I'm like asking questions about, like, okay, so how is this ACL thing? Like, how is it just not showing up? And he basically was like, well, if it's not in there when we cut you open, then we would just replace it with, he said he would replace it with a
shoelace or
no, he said he's
A Twizzler.
Because the whole time we had talked about there's like 3 different options, for ACL surgery, like a cadaver, a dead person,
okay.
your patella, which is like part of like the thing that runs over your knee.
I have access to tons of dead bodies if you need that.
Yeah, and then
my
your
God.
hamstring, and like we had discussed just doing the hamstring, and he's like, oh, if we end up having to do the ACL surgery, we'll just do your hamstring. And I was like, you used my hamstring last time, and he's like, oh, he looked through his paperwork, he's like, oh, we just do a cadaver then. And I was like, why would you not do like my patella? Because cadaver is like the least likely to, or the most likely to like fail.
Right.
So I was like kind of freaking out, I literally didn't know what to say. So I just pretty much told him that I was going to go to another doctor, and I just got up and walked out.
And what was his reaction? Was he pissed? Probably
No,
thought you were
I mean,
crazy.
I don't know.
Or maybe he knew you were.
didn't
Maybe he
seem
knew you
pissed
had a
at all.
point.
Yeah, he didn't seem pissed at all. But yeah, I ended up like just going to another doctor. He looked at my images and was just like, "What the fuck?" Like.
So
This is
the
a
next
horrible
doctor thought
image.
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, like straight up ridiculous. He's like, "This is the worst quality MRI I've ever seen."
So you think the doctor was just like he fucked up the MRI and then he basically like he wasn't gonna charge you to do another one because then you would be like, why the fuck are you charging me to do another one? But he also wasn't capable of making a decision because it was such bad quality.
I think he was just trying to get me for like, yo, you need another surgery.
And you said
like,
you looked into it and there was like malpractice suits.
yeah, I do. Whenever because I was fucking freaking out. I was just
Right.
like, I'm 7 months in and I'm thinking like, fuck, I'm ready to ride. I have to I need to film for this DVD. Let's do this. And,
Yeah, you're all hyped.
Yeah, and then pretty much like, just crushed my dreams pretty much and told me like starting from scratch, and it's pretty much retore. And then when I went to the other doctor and he was like, oh, you pretty much told me I was good after he did a complete another MRI and everything. And I started Googling a bunch of shit. And I literally, the first thing I Googled was just like doctor malpractice. I read like 1 or 2 articles. The third thing I clicked on didn't even have this doctor's name like that. I Googled and it was a complete article about the Dr. Chow dude. And then I just really started tripping out and like actually Googling his name, and then I just found out a bunch of shit.
It's scary to think that a doctor could be as inept or as like thoughtless as like the way that I am or most people are with their job. Like if you worked at a 7-Eleven, you might do a shitty job.
Yeah, and you don't care about it.
Because who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And there's like doctors who are that attentive.
I think he was like super legit back in the day, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Or maybe it just was this situation. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, probably not if there's a bunch of malpractice suits.
But yeah,
Hopefully he
between
sues
that,
me.
Maybe
talking about
between
it.
I was like, he's probably gonna see me like in the interview or whatever.
Can you tell me about the process of doing this Hoodbird promo with Miles? Because I noticed he had to do some creative editing with some different footage and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw somebody comment that it seemed like you had died. Like because there's a lot of black and white footage in there mixed
Yeah.
in, and I was like, it does kind of have that
The, like-
RIP feel. Yeah.
The like vintage look. Yeah, it was sick, man. It was kind of stressful, you know what I mean? Just because I didn't go into it with like a set person to film with,
Uh-huh.
So I had mad footage just filmed with random people.
Do you end up with that situation a lot in Long Beach where you don't always just have somebody to work with all the time?
No, not really. Usually I go into something with a set like idea or something, So
Is Miles good to work with on that regard?
Yeah, man, he came through for sure. Like I didn't even know who was gonna. He'd film like 5-6 clips. I had like 5-6 clips between like 5-6 people, it seemed like, and I didn't even know who was gonna like edit it, and I was just like kind of trying to hit everyone up to at least get all my footage together.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Yo, who's gonna edit this?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't even know yet, like whoever I can get to do it and work out a deal with, fit or whatever."
Right.
And he was like, on the real, I don't want anyone editing my crispy ass clips of you.
Yeah.
So I was
It
just
should
like-
always be the best filmer who
I
gets
was-
to edit it out of the bunch. Not that I don't know who the other filmers were, but I could see that would be.
I
Yeah.
was just like, word, if you're really trying to do it, let's make it happen. If you're like wanting to do it, then that's sick. So let's do it.
Was that real? When did you find out that you were going to signature frame through Fit? And was that
The day he put me on pro.
Really? He said
Yeah.
you could get a frame too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He literally was like, yo, we want to put you on pro. and we want to give you a frame. And if you have any other ideas, like, let's make it happen.
What was this conversation with Moeller like? He's the god of the BMX industry, and he just sits down with you and tells you that he wants to put you on pro.
Don.
Yeah.
I think I went in for like a new bike, and it was like, like maybe a month or something before the end of the year.
Right.
And yeah, he just pretty much sat me down in the office and told me, like, I went in.
And you didn't see it coming at this point.
I mean, no.
You hadn't really thought about that. Well, you sure you thought about it, but yeah,
and you're hoping, and you're
you didn't think this was going to be the meeting.
No, I did not go in there thinking like I was going to sit down with Moeller at the desk.
So describe how you felt. Did you jump up and cry and hug him? And
No, I honestly, looking back, I didn't really say that much because I was just kind of.
What are you going to say?
Yeah,
you don't know what the hell to say, right?
You just taken off guard, and you don't really know it's coming. So I didn't took a minute to sink in for sure.
What do we need to know about the Hoodbird frame in terms of what might make a kid want to check it out?
It's tall, strong, and fast.
Is it? Tall, strong, fast. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Go get yourself
It's
a
got
Hoodbird.
lots of horsepower.
We got to get one in here.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Need a long one too.
Yeah. Everybody needs a long one.
Dude, my girlfriend was making mad jokes about the bike being called a long one.
Okay, there you go. That's a good idea. Where'd the Hoodbird name come from? Because you don't strike me as particularly hood. I don't know what you're doing on the side.
The funny thing is everyone thinks Hoodbird because like hood rat.
You're in the
ghetto
hood.
bird
You're
or
selling
something.
birds.
No,
Yeah, ghetto bird. Yeah.
It's just all Trans Am themed shits. Cause
Is that something you're into, or is that just
yeah, it's just my dad. He has Trans Am. It's been in our family forever, so it's this. It's an iconic thing within our family, just dad's badass car.
How do your parents feel about your career as it stands right now? Are they excited about Pro BMX life?
We were having this conversation on the way here. I was asking about his parents, and I was like, honestly, I don't even know what my parents like.
You haven't really talked to them about that?
They get it and shit, they know that I'm a pro rider or whatever, but they don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't fully grasp it.
There'll always be little things here and there that sort of give your parents an idea of what this might be.
They get it. They just don't fully get it, I guess. They can't understand what, you have a frame and now you have the bike. What? I thought you had a signature bike already. I'm like, no, there's a frame. They have no idea how that shit works. Bikes, complete bikes and parts. They can't really.
They seem happy that you're happy though, or
they're definitely psyched that I'm happy, but they're probably deep down inside, I feel like they're probably bummed I'm not in college and
Yeah, did your parents expect you to go to college and do all this stuff?
For sure.
What did you ever try going to college? No.
Yeah, I was out. It's I graduated half a year early in bounds. Get me the fuck out of Illinois.
But where do you go first? Because you didn't move to California right away.
Yeah, right away.
Oh, right away.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We pretty much graduated early, worked a solid 2 months, and then just moved out here.
So you moved out here totally unsponsored, or?
Yeah.
And then you did some time on the Stolen team, right?
Yeah.
How'd you get on Stolen?
Evan.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was on or whatever. Whenever we I guess 2 years before we moved out here, we came on a trip for a month. And he was just filming a props commercial and maybe working on an interview or something. But,
he did. He had a props bio. Right?
Yeah.
Or a section of some sort, right?
No, I think he did all that shit on the East Coast, but this was just a props commercial he did with Tony Ennis way back.
Okay.
And we ended up.
Whoa, you just got to fly right in your face. That sucks.
Yeah. He just came out, or we came out for a month and just stayed at this dude's random spot and just just rode LA for the month. It was sick. And then after before that, I knew I wanted to be out of Illinois, but then once I came out here.
It's rough. You get trapped in the warp where you're there's so many girls and food and stuff to ride. How could I live anywhere else?
It's so different that it was I didn't realize how much of the greater LA area, how big it was.
True. Yeah.
So you just think LA, you don't think about all these other cities you've never heard of that are
it's
they
just
got
so
sick-ass
ridiculously
spots
dense.
too,
Yeah. In every other city, the area surrounding it is not as dense, but around LA, it's everywhere. It's fucking
it's crazy.
There's stuff around to ride.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, this is almost the end of my questions that are specifically Morgan related. But are you still a complete and total Starbucks addict?
No.
No, you're off it.
No.
What happened?
I'm definitely a coffee addict.
Oh,
not
okay.
Starbucks,
Because that's what Travis Kiso said.
Travis, shout out to Travis.
yeah. Is he still your boy? Do you guys still ride together or
man,
what?
He works at the shop that I help out at all the time.
Yeah.
So he's the man. He always comes by the house, hangs out.
Right. Is he still? How's he doing with his injury? Is he ride much?
No, not really.
He's kind of over it.
He'll pedal around every once in a while.
I used to see him at Houghton skate park and stuff.
Yeah, we used to always go ride Houghton together.
Yeah. You still ride Houghton ever?
Not
North Side
often.
Long Beach.
Not often.
North Side Long.
Definitely mean, when I first moved out here, that was the spot because we lived in Bellflower, so it was right there.
It's a nice place to train. I mean, if you're in like
Train.
where you live in Long Beach, it's kind of like 6 miles down Cherry. So it's you have a car out here?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, ain't that bad.
It's not bad, but I just never make it up there because it sucks to ride there in the day.
Oh, you got jumped there, right?
Kind of.
I heard you got your bike stolen, and then
kinda.
Gabe got it back for you, right?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, pretty much.
Gabe probably wants us to tell the story just so we all know.
Tell it. It's pretty good. I pull up, throw my bike on the sidewalk, and I was like, putting like some ankle brace and shit on the sidewalk, and I walk around the car, and I realized I had like a hat on. I threw it in the car. I walk back around the car, and my shit's just like sitting on the sidewalk. Dude's just grabbing my bike and running. And I'm like leaving for a trip in like 2 days, so I'm just I'm just like tripping out. I like take a couple of like runs after this dude. I like grab this dude, I like tackle him. I'm holding him and just screaming for help because I'm just like holding him down and trying to like hope someone gets comes over or whatever.
So your instinct was just to kind of wrestle the bike away instead of trying.
No, I was just like holding onto my bike with my legs and like holding this dude down on the ground.
Was this like a big guy that you were?
No, he was like smaller than me.
But see, you got to be careful around there because it's like he might be a crackhead. He might have a knife.
Yeah, gang member. Dude.
Exactly. Yeah, and especially that.
When I first moved out here, like all the stories I heard about the Houghton were just nuts.
Yeah, I always hear about people fighting in the bowl.
It was always a wild scene there, like all the locals. But yeah, I'm just sitting there holding this dude down, yelling for help. His other friend is punching me in the back, and I'm just sitting there yelling. And both these dudes are like, I mean, this is like when I was 19, so I'm like,
so you're
wait,
super
I was
young,
smaller than what I am now for sure.
Not as confident.
Yeah,
not
and
as
I'm just
likely to
like,
kick
but these
somebody's
dudes are
ass.
like my size or smaller, and like I'm just sitting there getting punched, thinking like, this is not what I expected. Like this to be like
Bring me back to Illinois.
Yeah, this is crazy, But I'm just sitting there, and we finally like get up, and this dude's like grabbing my bike again, and at that point, like Gabe is the first dude there,
right?
And I had known Gabe just from the Houghton skate park. But, like, I wasn't, like, homies with him or anything, so shout out to Gabe for just, like, reacting quick and just, like, helping me out.
Gabe Brooks cares about justice.
Yeah, no, literally the first thing that Gabe said to me was, like, I got up, and when they realized, Gabe and, like, half the park's running over, they got up, tried to grab my bike, and then realized and just, like, ran, like, 20 feet and turned around, like, what, like, pretty much just stood there. And as they stood there, a whole van of, like, dudes rolled up, like, super hot, like, opened the door, dudes hopped in the van. Like, dudes in the van were waiting around the corner. Probably.
So this was an organized effort.
Yeah, for sure. Like, at some point, there had to be like, yo, white boy's slipping over there by himself, like, get the bike.
Dude, this feels like something that should be happening in, like, Brazil, not, like,
it was
Southern
sketchy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, as soon as the whole van pulled up and Gabe was there, Gabe literally looks at me and he's like, them niggas got guns. Them niggas got guns. And I was like, yo, no, but chill out, like, chill, like, fuck. Like, the van's pulling up and shit. It was super sketchy. And I just remember Gabe being like, yo, just don't, you can't let them know you scared.
Yeah.
Like, you can't let them know you, like, intimidated or whatever, So, like, we just went on riding the park. I was like,
you have any other super hood experiences living in Long Beach? I think if you live in Long Beach long enough, you're bound to see some crazy shit.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, today we were like walking outside this sandwich shop, and like crackhead girl walks up to Dan, just tries to like shove a sandwich in his face and asks, she has sandwich in her mouth, and she's like, yo, will you have sex with me?
What?
I'm homeless.
She said that.
That was the sentence.
Yeah, and then her sketchy ass friend was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing tonight?" Like they were trying to like have us come over.
They literally
and
just
fuck
got
us.
out of jail for sure.
Let me reiterate this. Do you want to have sex with me? I'm homeless.
That
Those
direct
words.
quote.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've had dozens of sexual encounters that started with those words. That's actually my pickup
That's pretty
line.
Long Beach right there. I mean,
Just kidding.
that's Long Beach as fuck.
That is insane. Dan, what are your thoughts on Long Beach? You like hanging out there?
It's all right.
What do you mean it's all right?
Dan hates
I
California.
don't really like California.
Yeah, I have that in my notes. Why do you hate California?
Just every time I come out here, like I have bad luck or like just shitty things happen to me or my bike or something like that.
What's it this time?
This time having bike troubles. Also,
You had to have sex with that woman on the street who gave you the
Yeah,
sandwich.
dude. Had to build up that street cred. So
Trust me, it'll come back. Pay it forward. You bang the homeless lady. A couple weeks later, something good will happen to you.
Yeah.
What other problems have you had in Long Beach? You said you got sick one time real bad or something?
yeah. Well, it wasn't really in Long Beach. I got sick. When me and Dylan Lloyd went on that We the People trip to San Diego
With Francis, right? Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know. I just had like, I feel like I had the flu or something. Like I couldn't ride, and I was taking like Dayquil and stuff, and it's supposed to be non-drowsy, but it was making me feel like
Dayquil
complete
makes you
shit.
feel weird. I was on it a little bit earlier this week. Yeah.
so it's hard to ride on that stuff.
It
and then
is.
you crashed real bad at home Ave. I remember that.
Scott,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't get that clip the other day.
Yeah, right.
Because I took Dayquil.
That's why, dude. That's
Can't
for
possibly
real.
be related to my own lack of skill.
Blame it on the day.
No, I'm gonna now.
It's the drugs.
Yes, it's definitely Dayquil. Hell yeah, I knew I didn't suck. So do you remember when you met Dan Morgan? Because he's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
for
like
sure.
he's like the next generation of like Midwest
Yeah.
killers in,
Yeah,
in the
it's
BMX scene. How did you meet him?
I was on the Dan's trip.
Okay.
And like I just got on Dan's, and literally like 2 weeks later, we did like that skate park tour.
Right.
Like I think we're like 4 days in. And we
Oh,
went
okay,
to,
I
like,
remember this,
Milwaukee
yeah.
or whatever, and then just ran into Dan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know, just fucking kicking it the whole session, you know, just riding, and he seemed cool. He was young then. He was like 16.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he was 16 and he could hang.
Yeah, you know, he was just chill. You know, he didn't seem like a 16-year-old.
Right.
He was like definitely shredding, but wasn't trying to like one up anyone. Or, like,
What's your?
wasn't-
Do you remember shredding and trying to one up everybody?
No, he wasn't trying to one up anyone. He was just like hanging out, casual. You know, like not like super hungry, but still shredding.
Is that like the scene that you came up in, riding a lot of Midwest parks and stuff?
Well, yeah. I mean,
You were born in Milwaukee. It is.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, suburb. It's called West Dallas. It's
Okay.
like I don't know. It sucks.
Same. It sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I think everywhere sucks that isn't a major city. Like, whenever anybody describes where they're from, if they're not from LA or New York,
Yeah.
they're like, it sucks.
It's just like
Which
white
is weird,
trash.
but yeah,
It's
white trash.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
how
pretty
it
sure that
feels.
like 99% of America is like painfully white trash,
Oh, yeah.
right?
How
Like,
the-
in terms of like sheer mileage, because everything is so concentrated into these little pockets of like culture and interesting things
Especially in
going
the
on.
Midwest.
Yeah. And in the middle of America is where you just kind of have this big gulf where there's almost nothing in terms of anything besides, you know, Jack in the Box, Trailer Park, Walmart,
Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Walmart.
Tornado.
Fucking-
Tornado is less of a permanent fixture. But so what did you start growing up riding? Like what riding street, riding parks?
Yeah, growing up, just riding street, just riding the stuff around me, obviously, like schools or whatever. And like one of the first people I met who really rode was Mike Hinkens. Like,
Right.
I had seen him on like in a Ride BMX or something, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I like Googled him, and I found out that he lived in Milwaukee or whatever. And then eventually, through friends of mine, I found out he worked at a bike shop right up the street from me.
Right.
So I was like, what the fuck? Like a pro rider lives up the street from me. So one day I just went up there and actually got his autograph.
Wow. I
You know,
want to get Mike
that is
Hinkens'
dope.
autograph.
Wait, is this Dreadlock Hinkens or?
Oh, okay.
This
yeah.
was
What
this
version?
was right after he cut off his dreads, so I didn't get to see him.
So
dreadlock.
it wasn't slicked. Was it slicked back super smooth yet, or
No,
was he
no,
in
no.
some kind of transitional
No,
phase?
it was a transitional phase. This was
Still figuring it out.
this was just messy, whatever kind of hair.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Hinkens is the kind of person that I probably wouldn't know that well, except for the fact that I went to Barcelona with him for like I think he was there for maybe like 2.5 weeks, and I really got a window into like what a hilarious human being he is. He's a great guy, though.
He is a good guy.
Yeah. So was he kind of your window into maybe seeing what was possible with the BMX industry and stuff like that?
Basically, yeah. He pretty much introduced me to like what riding really was, instead of just like, oh, just hopping up curves with your friends like that. He showed me like, you can travel, you can do all this kind of stuff just because of your bike. And he told me about MidwestBMX.net.
Oh, so this was all the way back in the area?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
so
was
you,
like
so
right.
you're
how old
really
were you?
young being in the scene, right?
What?
He's
old are you?
21 now.
I'm 21 now. I started
Midwest-
riding when I was 12, so
Oh shit! Because Midwest BMX was kind of probably like
03. Well, no,
Yeah.
actually, before it was like 01.
I think like by 06 or 07 it might have been kind of done.
yeah. I started riding basically kind of on Midwest's way out.
See, Jeff K is like the most crucial interview that we haven't done yet because we talk
Dude, you
about
need
him
to
with
get
everybody.
He invented the web edit.
He invented the web edit. That is
That's
a
a
good
fact.
point.
That's a
true?
fact. First,
He invented the
first
bar
web
spin.
edit.
I heard that.
That's arguable.
I
That's
heard
arguable.
Andrew Jackson invented the web edit.
No, Jeff K.
No, but you know what I say about Andrew Jackson is I think he's the first person that ever got sponsored through the Come Up because We the People hit me up and they were like, "Yo, can you put me in touch with this guy?" And I like gave him the MySpace link or something. Which that makes me feel old as hell because now Andrew Jackson is not really like a pro rider anymore. He kind of moved on from it. So I mean,
What is Andrew Jackson up to?
I don't really know what he
You
does.
guys never
but-
seen him around
I seen him
here?
in Vegas.
I see him like still riding on Instagram and stuff, so I know he's still riding. But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Was he in Vegas? I didn't
Yeah,
see him
he
out
was
there.
there.
What was your interbike? Was that your first interbike?
Yeah, that's my first interbike.
What'd you think?
A lot of fucking bikes there.
Yeah, but not that many BMX.
No,
bikes.
the BMX section was so small compared to it.
Yeah.
I was like so surprised.
Yeah, like when I first went to Interbike in maybe 2007 or something, it was small then, but it was probably
3 times bigger.
Yeah, like 3 to 5. I was gonna say 10 maybe, just because I like to exaggerate. Like 10 times bigger. It's definitely gone smaller. But I mean, a lot of that is, I mean, again, the BMX industry is not as big as point, but it's also just the fact that all these shops, they book their orders online. It
Yep.
just seems kind of crazy for them to spend like 10 grand on
Yeah.
a booth
outdated.
and
It's
everything.
Fucking
Yeah.
crazy. But some companies do the whole suite thing, which is
I
a way
think
cooler idea.
That makes a lot of sense to me too. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say
Reference.
it.
Scott's just the king of puns. Are you really gonna drink 2 Hansons?
Yeah, dude, it's like a beer for me almost.
Is there caffeine in it at all? Oh no, it's
No.
like sparkling
Yeah,
water.
no,
Okay.
it's just carbonated water and natural fruit flavor extracts.
I'm very concerned about your diet.
Seems unhealthy.
If you,
Look in a mirror.
Never even heard
if
of
I look
Hansons.
in the mirror, I'm not going to see any food. Anyway, so yeah, messaging Grant C on MySpace. That's the next one on my list. What's your? Tell me about Grant C. You met him on MySpace?
Well, basically, yeah. I mean, just through Mike, you know, I learned about all these people, and like, there was like a crew of dudes in my hometown kind of area who did like videos called Red Star BMX. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but
Yeah,
it was
it
just
sounds
local
familiar.
dudes just filming whatever they did. And Grant back then was like the best one out of all of them. So I was just like, oh, this dude's sick as fuck. Like, he's cool. Like, one day I'll meet him or something. So I just hit him up on MySpace, like, hey, man, like, I think you're really good. Like, one day I hope I could ride with you. Like, that would be awesome. And he was just like, yeah, we can. Like, one day. I was like,
Because that is weird. Because
Yeah, yeah.
you probably get messages
Yeah,
like that
sometimes
here
I
and there,
do.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I mean, kids are always like, "When are you coming to
Yeah.
Chicago to ride with me?"
or
I'm
it'll be
"Dude,
like
I don't
someone
know."
it'll be someone from like Brazil, like, oh, when are you coming down here? I'm like,
Right.
It's always fucking out of country,
yeah,
dude.
it's
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah, because to them, it's like BMX pros really are heroes. Whereas
Yeah.
to like a 16-year-old kid at the skate park in Long Beach, it's like
That's
it's hard
yeah,
for
in
them.
Long Beach, it's just
different
normal.
out here.
Yeah.
Though. It's way different. Out
way
here.
different out here. Yeah. Because maybe to them, like maybe Garrett Reynolds will make them pay attention. You know, maybe like the craziest dude, but
Yeah.
they're seeing everybody
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. Yeah. I
They
don't know.
spoiled.
Yeah. What were we just talking about? The Grant C thing. And so was he always? Did he put you on a lot of game in terms of the industry or just riding life?
I don't know. Grant's just chill. Like, he just rides. He doesn't really kind of, I don't know. He's not really into all the industry stuff a lot, like
Right.
super much. He just loves to film and edit and stuff. So that was a big help to me growing up. Like, getting him to film me and do stuff for me like that, it really helped me out a lot.
At what point did Hinkens and/or Grant start looking out for you in terms of like the Madeira hookup?
I mean, I kind of
Were they kind of giving you stuff a little bit here and there in the beginning, even too?
a little bit. Like, they'd help me out with their old stuff if I really needed it.
Right.
And probably when I was 15 or 16, Mike started hooking me up with like the grassroots, so getting like cost deals on stuff.
Uh-huh.
And just eventually from that, I ride with him all the time, so he knows how I am and like how I've grown riding, and how I'm not like a douchebag, I hope.
Yeah.
And yeah, then when I was like 18, he put me on Madeira Flow.
Right.
So,
What's it like being on Madeira? Is it dope?
yeah, it's pretty sick.
Been on some good trips with them and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all those dudes like Josh Elkin and shit like that. They're
Elstrand?
funny as fun. Elstrand, yeah.
You've been on
dude.
trips with him too, right?
Yeah. He's wild,
Mind-blowing,
dude.
right?
He's awesome. He's an amazing person, just on and off the bike.
Do you ever
he's
eat
crazy.
like any kind of ice cream or sweets with Grant Castelluzzo?
Oh, always.
You always? Are
Yeah.
you a big sweet eating guy?
Oh, hell yeah.
Really? What's
Yeah.
your preferred one? He would say custard pie because I'm pretty sure I asked him this,
Custard
right?
pie.
Custard.
At one point, I asked him. He goes, "You could find me eating a custard, some sort of custard."
But he will not eat eggs. So.
he won't eat eggs.
Eggs are for poor people, according to him.
I think Grant says a lot of things that he then gets hated on for because he like.
I have seen him eat eggs, though, but he just doesn't like them.
Grant's had some bold statements.
I
over the
love
years.
eggs. I ate
Yeah, I
5
love
eggs this morning and 3 strips of bacon, and it was like
3.
Yo, 6 eggs and a bison every morning.
and a bison, a whole bison.
Dill Lloyd.
Oh,
That's
just a big chunk of
Yeah,
bison.
that's Dylan Lloyd. Dylan Lloyd.
Yeah.
is sick.
Yeah, what do you think? So speaking of Dylan Lloyd, We the People, how'd you get on that? Who looked
the-
out for you in that regard?
Fuck. It just kind of randomly happened. Like,
I think they were looking for dudes who were killing it online at the time,
they
right?
might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my friend Pat from Chicago, like, he like knew Dave Patterson,
Uh-huh.
who is like the parts manager of We the People, and I guess like throughout the whole time I was riding for Stolen, he was always just like mentioning him to like.
So we got multiple stolen alumni here,
Yeah.
which isn't nothing to say about stolen, but it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. What,
Yeah.
what were you saying?
But yeah,
I just realized that this is the post-stolen class.
yeah.
Maybe we should get Kareem in. Well, we
Cut.
just had Kareem in here. I don't know who else there might be. Jake Seeley, he was on here. Yeah.
What's Ralphie Ramos doing? Is he still
I think he's
stolen
off.
right now? Okay.
Is he really? Well,
Or,
he's
fuck,
in.
don't quote me on that.
He's in the
I'm-
Nigel video.
I don't
So-
think his name's on the site.
Really? Well, there you go. I don't know what's.
I don't
going
think
on.
he ever even made an edit or anything for him. So.
I don't think so either. I think there might have been a point where they were like, "We need to fly a Hispanic guy on this team."
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I
No,
mean,
there-
I've had that same impulse. So okay, back to We the People. What how's it been? Like,
Dude, We the People is the fucking sickest thing ever.
really? Like,
Yeah.
why do you say that?
Because they do so much for me. Like, it's so crazy. Just whether it's like flying me out on a trip or something, or like helping me get to Spain, like, or
Yeah,
just
shouts
being-
to Paul Robinson.
Yeah, Paul Robinson, fucking
Shout out to
man,
Paul.
dude. Yeah, cheeky bastard for sure.
So what? You're inheriting some of their language
Oh
out
yeah,
there?
I love their language. It's so good.
That's like
they,
the best part of hanging out with people from England.
They
It's
love
just
to
that-
say "fuck off" like all the time, just
Right.
random.
"Fuck off."
Fuck
Yeah.
off, mate.
I'm with you on that. That's like my favorite part about going to England is just listening to all the funny ass shit that they say.
Mm-hmm.
So where have you been on We the People trips? New York was the most recent one.
Yeah, and the San Diego trip.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are the only like official We the People trips I've been on, but they helped me a little bit get to Spain, so I made that We the People edit for them.
What
when I
was
out
the
there.
Spain voyage like, and who did you ride with out there?
Spain voyage was fucking long.
Really?
Yeah,
A month?
Yeah,
I did a month as well.
Yep.
It was amazing.
Jealous.
the whole first week I couldn't sleep. I was so jet lagged. So I was
Really?
like, yeah, I was like starting to get super fucked up. Like my taste buds like started working all weird. I don't know. It was like super because I
What,
just
so
wasn't
you
sleeping.
ate like a popsicle and it tasted like a piece of bacon or something?
No, not like that. But like,
okay.
I just remember specifically drinking a Fanta, and I was like, this tastes fucked up. Like it was so bad. And then I finally like ended up sleeping after a week, and then I drank a Fanta again just to just to make sure, and it tasted great. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It was weird shit.
Who were you
happening.
hanging? What was your living situation like in Barcelona?
We had an Airbnb apartment.
Who was it? Who were you with?
Mike Hinkens, Grant Castelluzzo,
Okay.
like all those dudes. Eric
Right.
Alstrand actually too. So
And so, how was that for you? Are you able to stick to the Hinkens and Grant Castelluzzo strategy of like in bed by 9, up and eating and riding by like 7:30 in the morning, which is kind of what they go with?
on that trip, it was pretty chill. We actually pretty much all slept till like noon. Well, besides Mike and Grant, but I slept till noon. No one started riding till like 1 or whatever. So
Yeah.
it was just like a normal trip, I guess.
Right. Well, that's good. When I went to Spain with them, they were definitely eating a lot of pastries, waking up in the morning
the
and
pastries,
going.
yes.
They love that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they don't drink or smoke weed or anything, but they will definitely get it in with a fucking
Yo,
croissant.
Sugar is a serious drug.
Mike fucks with the fritters hard.
What is a fritter exactly?
I don't really know. It's just like some sort of pastry. Sometimes
filled
has
with fruits, I
yeah,
think.
sometimes
Like an
has
apple
apple.
fritter.
But if you're with Mike, you have to make sure the fritters are in season. Otherwise, he will not eat them.
Really?
Yeah, he always. If we go to like a gas station or something, and they have them. He will literally like squeeze them all, like make sure you know if it's too hard or too soft. He has to find the right one. That's the in season one. Yes.
I really liked when we were out there with Grant that he was eating a shitload of those ice cream pops that are
Oh.
called Magnums.
Yes, they were
Yo,
eating those
those are
heavy down
dialed.
there.
Oh
And I don't think I ever had one, but you know also that a Magnum is the name of a popular brand of condoms.
Yes.
Never used one.
Yeah, well, maybe
Well,
one day.
no, I mean, never mind.
Used one, but it fit like a pair of Jinkos. No, but then it was just every day I'd just say, "Look at you, Grant, shoving that Magnum in your mouth once again." You know,
Yeah, they eat them there like. They eat them there like it's some sort of rare thing, even though you can get them in America.
yeah. I did notice when I got back that they had them in America as
Yeah.
well, but I had never noticed them until I went there. I don't know what that was. Yeah. What about? So, how do you feel about Barcelona in general as a place? Do you enjoy the people, the lifestyle?
I enjoy it every second.
It's
of
amazing,
Barcelona.
right?
It's like a fucking skate park, but
Right.
it's a city. There's perfect ledges, perfect, like anything you want to ride besides like good rails. There's like not
The rail situation is strange, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed in that.
You consider yourself sort of a rail guy? Is that your favorite thing to ride?
Yeah, definitely rails. That's why I have metal pegs on.
Maybe.
Because
Oh, so you still stick with the metal pegs?
Yeah,
You
if
guys
it
are
ain't-
both old school as fuck.
if it ain't steel, it ain't real.
You might be the only person with metal pegs and a coaster.
I might
Seems
be.
like classic pegs and coasters go hand in hand these days.
That's true. I'm not trendy though.
Yeah.
so-
You know, is that an important thing to you to be trendy? Team metal pegs could be like you, Reed Stark, Nigel.
That's all right.
That's a good team to be on.
Reed
yeah.
Stark kills it.
Simone.
Simone.
Simone is.
He's fucking boss.
But
he has a cassette, so
He does. If anyone's going
Cassette
to keep
boss.
the metal pegs alive, it might be Simone.
And
He's
cassette.
unbelievable. Yeah, and he does dope ass shit with both of them. Yeah.
he's crazy shit.
Gotta show love to him. He does bunny hop bar spin to lip slides on flat ledges. That to me is just like
Insane.
you're a dickhead. Like why did you just do this to the game? That is way too
Just
hard.
fucked it up. Just fucked it all up.
That trick does not make any sense to me. Yeah, can we talk about your We the People teammates? So, Dylan Lloyd's the first one I want to ask about. He's a fucking lunatic, right?
Canadian beast.
The Canadian beast.
Yes.
There's also Ed Zunda.
Ed Zunda, who is a vampire.
Vampire. He has vampire-like characteristics. That's for
Yes.
damn sure.
Yep.
Anybody else we should know about on the We the People team?
Dan Foley.
Dan Foley.
Jordan Godwin. He's
Okay.
from the UK. He's fucking sick.
And he's insane, right? But
Dude.
not a lot of people know about him yet. But I was
He
just
is
watching
underrated.
his new edit the other day.
Yeah, he's underrated as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, we went on that Brooklyn trip. That was the first time I met him.
Uh-huh.
And any spot we went to, he would just kill it. Like, he can hard three like he bunny hops. Like,
You
it's
can
just that
kind of
easy.
too, though. What is that? Why can everyone hard three all of a sudden so
I'm
good?
not that good at hard threes.
You
bro.
aren't?
No.
What about the hard whips?
Hard whips. I fuck with
He's
hard
all
whips.
about that.
Yeah.
That's
are,
my shit.
Are you
He's all
good at that
about
trick? Would
Oh,
you
yeah.
consider yourself good at it?
I-
Because I
I'm-
see
I'm
you doing
okay
the
with
videos,
it.
but I
He's
don't
good
know
at
how
it.
consistent
I'm
you are.
okay with that, I guess.
You and I saw one time because we were talking about the gas station. We had a fly rail sesh there the other day, and he was not the other day, but months ago. He was killing himself trying to pull a bar pegs hard whip, and it was
That's
just
his
like
move. That's his move.
and it just doesn't make any
That's the
fucking
finisher.
sense. It's way too short. It's so small. This is like the craziest thing you could possibly do on this, and he was just going for it for forever. Did you actually pull it? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
That day,
That-
you filmed it, right?
No, you pulled it.
I was
It's his
trying
move.
bar crook bar too. But
That was the other one,
yeah.
right? Yeah. We're forgetting. I'm looking at the
You
Weird
didn't
People
get
team
one of
page.
them. That
I
was
think
such
I did the
weird-
whip, but I didn't do the bar crook
Okay.
bar.
Hey, we also have to talk about Pete Sawyer, another great We the People team member.
Max
sick.
Gertig.
Max Gertig is
Max
still
Gertig,
on the
legend.
international pro team. I did not know if he was still considered active in that regard. Felix,
Felix Prangenberg, he's sick.
and then Mike Curley, who he stayed out here for a while, and he's dope. So shout out to We the People.
Yeah. Shout out to the We the People fork box. That's actually the tripod for this camera.
Yeah.
That is
That
dope.
is true. What do we know anything about the stool that it's on, the chair, or the other cardboard box?
Looks like you got it from Pier 1, but
Free sticker packs with purchase.
Shout out to Pier 1. OSS stuff is about to be stocked at Pier 1.
wow.
Yeah, making
Coming
power
up,
power
man.
moves in the industry. So you've been injured a few times yourself. You had to have knee surgery, I believe.
Yeah, I tore my ACL when I was 17.
17. And so how long did this take you out for?
About 6 months.
Does it still bother you?
No.
Really?
It's been good. Like, I
Full
have no
recovery?
problems. Yeah. The only thing that I kind of feel weird about sometimes is, like, my knee won't, like, stretch as far as it should, but it's, like, not bad.
But so you don't fall and then like end up stretching it into a weird position or
No,
whatever?
No, it's been solid. The dude that did my surgery,
Was he a crook? Because I've heard a similar story.
no, he's actually the guy that does all the shit for the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team.
Okay.
So I guess he's legit.
That sounds pretty legit,
Seems
yeah.
good.
They got money to throw around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you more of a crazy setup guy or a flat ledge guy? What
Definitely
piques your
setups.
interest more?
Setups are my thing.
Okay.
Just because, like, anybody can go to a flat ledge and do the same fucking feeble hard or whatever. But
Mhm.
I mean, I do that too. But I just prefer setups because setups, I don't know. Like, most people, you'll be riding down the street and you'll just see something that no one else will see because you have the eye for the setup.
Right.
Like, oh, there's this, you could double tie this ledge to the wall or this and land on this rail or something like that. Like, that's just way cooler to me than going to the stock flat ledge or the stock flat rail and doing those kind of tricks.
If you end up in that kind of situation on a team trip or whatever, are you going to kind of force yourself to be like, all right, I'm going to get a good flat ledge clip, or are you just sort of going to ignore
Yeah,
it?
I mean, I'll ride anything. Like, I have tricks on whatever. I don't mind riding that, but I would just prefer to ride a setup if I could.
Right. That's dope.
You
What?
love the flat rail. You love the flat rail.
Who just walked in?
Nate.
Oh, okay, good.
Uncle Nate.
All right, I thought it was gonna be a homeless guy. I was like, I'm gonna kill this person, whoever it is. What was I gonna say?
Excuse me.
What was I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I know.
If you guys were born girls, did your parents have names picked out for you?
My name would probably be Danielle. I
What-
think.
Okay.
I mean, my name's
I'd be the
Daniel.
same.
Well,
That's
no,
hot.
My parents had Kathleen picked out for me.
Kathleen?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Sounds like a slut.
I probably would have been.
Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill. You kind of give off her vibe. Oh, that's over your head? You're like an indie rock student. What are you talking about?
No.
Maybe I fucked it up. I hope I didn't fuck it up.
Bikini Kill?
You know, I never listened to them? It was like Nirvana era, like sort of grunge girl rock.
Someone will say it in the comments on this video.
And if I fucked it up, like there's gonna be like a pitchfork editor like coming at me with a literal pitchfork, which is how I would imagine that sort of thing going down. When you go on a trip, like a We the People trip, this actually goes for both of you guys. When you go on a team trip or whatever, do you feel a lot of pressure on you to get clips when you're hanging out with all these guys and stuff, or do you end up like just kind of chilling, or is it rough?
Well, for me, going on these like company trips is kind of a new thing, just because.
So that might make you feel even more pressure.
Yeah, and just riding with dudes that are like way better than me kind of makes me feel a little pressure to like do stuff crazy, but I still have fun when I'm on there, like no matter what.
Right.
So
Well, that's good.
I don't know. I put a little pressure on myself, I guess, but I'm always riding different spots, and like everyone else wants to ride on a trip.
Right.
So like usually on a trip we'll end up like going to a well-known spot or something, and I usually have to like
Creep.
I just mentioned, I'm like, yo, I'll be back in like 20 minutes, just don't leave, you know what I mean? I'll just go on a quick mission, but like
That's the Pegless guy lifestyle, is that you got to go.
for real, because you're always going to a fucking school or a rail or
Right.
a rail spot almost always. So
Yeah.
Are you vegan?
no,
All right.
no, but I'm always just venturing
Are
off.
you vegan?
That does
What
not
does that have
come
to
with
do
a
with
Pegless
anything?
thing.
Pegless people looking
No.
for weird spots. Vegan people.
no,
looking
but
for weird
all
restaurants.
Pegless people have shaved heads. That's a fact.
Okay, well, the Pegless threesome
Yep.
pause or trio of
Yep.
Eric L., Garrett Reeves, and Morgan Long, who everybody like throughout history will probably always be like, yo, that might have been the three best bald Pegless riders who lived in one spot ever.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, Garrett Reeves, haven't seen footage from him in a long time. Eric L. just moved to Virginia, so he might as well
Well,
just fallen
I
off the
hate
face
to
of there.
say it,
No, I'm just kidding. He still sends me clips all the
But
time.
Greaves has a pretty full head of hair now.
Garrett does.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
So I'm
He better
confused
shave
about
that shit and come get some clips with it.
Yeah, Garrett, get back here. If he's gonna grow his hair out, he should have to put 4 pegs in a coaster on.
it, right?
Yeah.
Imagine
That
that.
seems legit.
Look like vegan or something. What yeah, I don't know. What do you guys have coming up? We just passed the hour mark in terms of this podcast. So you guys what are the big aspirations for the next year?
Well, tomorrow I have to drive 30 hours back to my fucking house.
So that's fun.
No,
Are you
gonna suck.
But you say you don't like California, but are you looking forward to leaving California? Or are you kind of like, shit, I should stay here and keep riding all these good spots?
Yeah.
Dude, all
been
week,
pressuring him.
all week these guys have been pressuring me to just like stay here. Like they keep telling me to break up with my girlfriend and just get a job at Jimmy
Yo, I
John's
told him
and
to
stuff.
call her up on the podcast and just fucking make it.
Oh my God, I would love to have a breakup on air. That would be amazing.
I can't do that. She's definitely gonna be watching this.
How long have you been with her?
Actually, 2 years yesterday.
2 years. You can
I
still
mean, you
break up
already
with her.
missed the anniversary. What's the? I mean, you got to stay through the weekend.
Oh, you missed the anniversary to be out
Well,
here?
yeah, because it was yesterday.
An anniversary is
Well,
a
it's-
artificial construct
Yeah.
invented by the Hallmark Corporation.
Time isn't real, anyways.
Time
Well,
isn't real.
I actually, when I went on this trip, I told her I'd be home on the weekend because I was just gonna leave after Interbike, and then I was like, well, I'm only 4 hours from Cali, so I might as well just make the drive.
Yeah.
And then I told her, like, as I was on the way to Cali, like, oh, I'm not gonna be home for like another week, and she kind of got a little mad. But
Dan, my advice is take the women part of your life and put it in the trunk of the car, and take the bikes part and put it in the engine. Inject it into the
Damn.
fuel.
pretty good
BMX
advice.
is more important. That's
good
all
advice.
I'm saying. I just made that up. This is
So-
me trying to talk about cars.
so, do you have a bunch of girls in your trunk right now? Is that what you're
yes,
saying?
cut up,
Remember you
sewn
said something
together.
about dead bodies earlier.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, it's just something about I end up hanging out with a lot of dead people. I don't know what it is.
Got a lot of dead presents in my pocket. That's all I know.
Oh my god.
I don't. I have like $6.
Morgan, what you got anything big planned coming up?
Nothing big planned. I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing planned, but I'm trying to get on some trips, make some kind of trips happen for sure. But yeah, just try to. I know I'm trying to make a dance edit before the end of the year.
Hell yeah!
And
Shout out to Dance Comp.
yeah, there.
Everybody knows that
Huge
Dan-
shout out to Dance Comp.
They've
for sure.
probably helped you stay afloat quite a bit throughout the years. I'm guessing, right?
For sure, it's all that's keeping me afloat for sure.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, if it wasn't for them,
Shit,
I'd
is-
be in a different situation for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we should talk about here, Scott? Anything else stand
Yeah,
out?
freestyle it. You guys want to freestyle it?
Freestyle it?
Some randoms or something.
Yeah, throw some randoms.
Yeah.
I wish I had done a post being like reader questions, but
I
it,
was thinking
Yeah.
it's too late now. Favorite numbers?
between 1 and 10, what's your favorite? No, between 1 and 9 because
You
zeros.
have to pick between 1 and 9.
I feel like as soon as you,
You
start,
don't have a favorite number?
5.
2-digit numbers just seem like bullshit to me.
Favorite color?
Green.
Black.
Black, I guess.
Whoa.
Fucking, I
Black,
don't know.
nice and simple. We're all wearing black
Yeah.
I
t-shirts.
like green. I'm with Dan. Green.
That's what's up.
Like dark green, like a natural.
Yeah, like a forest green.
Who's
There
the
you
biggest asshole you've ever met in BMX?
Biggest asshole?
Who has the biggest asshole?
You. You.
I'll take that. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
No, I don't know.
There's a big difference between the biggest asshole in BMX and the biggest asshole in BMX that you're willing to name.
How many assholes have you seen fart?
Well, yours with the lighter quite often.
No, I'm talking about Vicente's.
Oh my God, Vicente's the king. Have you been hanging out with him much lately?
No, I just met him.
He
I
farts.
hung out with
Show him the
Vincent
video.
quite
Show
a
him
bit
the
last
video.
year.
Dude, he had this video one time of his own butthole farting, and it was so funny. And he showed it to us about 10
I'm pretty
times.
sure he showed me that, and the first time I hung out with Vincente, he showed me some fucked up videos.
Did it involve a dog?
No,
I saw a
don't even
fucked up one
know,
with a
yeah.
dog.
I feel like he showed me like a fucked up one with a snake or something. But
Oh,
something-
okay, yeah.
something weird
Or
for sure.
the guy sucking the nub. If we insert these, YouTube will delete this. So we will not insert these. But you could go. You should Google guy in a village getting his nub sucked. That was one that I really enjoyed. A video called Schmegma Makes Her Gag. Look that up.
I
If
can't
you-
even pronounce it.
There are 13-year-olds in the room. I also want to throw that out there that the 13-year-old that I'm mentoring, Santiago? Santino. Shit, I threw in a G there. God damn it. They're here today, too.
He's
so.
at least 17. See?
17? I thought
That's
you
a
said you
lot.
were 13 for some reason.
Well,
I was looking at him thinking like, man, this motherfucker looks grown. And how the hell did he get here this late at night without
Oh, they
any-
Ubered it here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense, too.
Is there an age limit on Uber?
Shout out to Uber.
Could like a fucking 6-year-old Uber somewhere?
Could a six... Well, that is a really good question. Could a 6-year-old Uber somewhere?
Well, they'd have to have a car seat in the car. So.
For the 6-year-old, could a 6-year-old drive an Uber? See, this is what happens when we start freestyling at Scott. I had a really nice organized list of
Well,
questions.
we ran out, so what are we gonna do now?
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, that is a good point. Like, if you want to talk about random stuff, now is the time to voice it. We
All right,
could
what's your
easily
favorite
talk for
kind of
another
cloud?
15 minutes.
Cloud? What the
Weed,
fuck?
weed clouds. Weed clouds. You know, I feel so much better about the fact that he's 17 and not 13 because I felt kind of weird about all the stuff I was
Kinda-
talking about
kinda
earlier.
That would have made that shit way more fucked up.
Yeah, I was talking about all the stuff that happened in Vegas, and I was just like, man, this is. But it's like I can't hold back. Like, if there's a 13-year-old, it's like I can't not talk the way that I always talk because I've never been in a situation where I had to act like an adult. Besides, maybe when I like go hang out with my mom, but then I could still go outside and yell swears at the moon.
We could talk about Adam LZ on Stranger.
Yeah, how you feel about that? I sat here yesterday and did the interview with him. So.
I mean, it's cool for him
Yeah.
to finally like be on a pro team.
Are you friends with him? Is this
I actually met him at that rail jam.
right, because he went to Chicago on this random trip or whatever? Yeah.
I didn't meet him there. I met him at the rail jam in Vegas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, shout out to LZ.
Shout out to Dan for winning the AM contest.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that was good. LZ's a whole can of worms. We start talking about that, we're gonna be here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Scott, you want to freestyle? This is your time.
Scott, you should
That is
I asked
freestyle
what kind
rap.
of cloud? What do if
Cloud.
you were a
Clouds.
cloud? You can't answer it for them. You got the. You
I
got
don't
the
like rain.
cumulus
I
clouds.
don't like rain
All right,
clouds.
you could be a
clouds. Blue
cirrus
skies.
cloud. Cirrus clouds, long and wispy.
Well, you know what I've heard is that even a cloud could have a silver lining.
Oh, is that something like every rose having a thorn?
Yes, it's actually
Reference.
no, but it's the opposite because a rose is beautiful and a cloud is depressing, but then they both have like their other side, their dual side.
It's like yin and yang.
But without a cloud, you wouldn't have a flower because a cloud holds rain. That makes the flower live. So.
Thank you.
Exactly. And without the murderous dictator, then you wouldn't have like all these great books written about the Holocaust.
Exactly.
So, you know, realistically, like everything works out in a way.
balance.
Yeah, if we didn't have the Holocaust, then we wouldn't be where we are, where we know that we don't want to have another Holocaust.
This is taking
We're
a
getting
turn.
deep, dude. Getting
What the
deep.
fuck?
Deep and just illogical, like just not making almost any sense.
Maybe we should cut it.
I want to say rest in peace to my Holocaust survivor, great grandfather-in-law.
Okay.
And
R.I.P..
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. him.
Yeah, just passed away recently. He was like 95.
Damn.
Sad stuff.
I hope I don't
really,
make it to 95 for sure. I do not want to make it.
but he was living in Brooklyn, so he was probably going to cool bars and stuff. No, he's Jewish, so he was actually like probably holed up in like the certain Jewish neighborhood he goes to and stuff. But if he wanted to, he could go to like.
Go to the fucking Charleston.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a
You're-
free
Can't
pizza
use
with every
shit when
drink.
you're 95.
I think that
Go to the levee and get a sportsman.
no, that's not how that. I think that the free pizza bar is closed. The Charleston.
Really?
I don't know. I heard some bad stuff about the free pizza.
Yeah, I got banned from there.
For eating too many free pizzas?
No, I just like stole someone's pizza right in front of him.
You
Those
stole a
pizzas-
free pizza?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. I didn't think it was a thing either.
There's a
but they
bar in
kicked me
Brooklyn
out.
that you go to and you spend like what $6 for a beer and then you get this free pizza, but like literally it's the shittiest pizza you ever had in your whole life. But you're drinking, so it seems all right, and it's like this big. It's like a Elio's or like a Mama Celeste, like the kind of you buy. It's not that good, but
No, but it's a free pizza and you're drinking beer. And like some dude, I thought I had ordered mine before him, and apparently he thought the same thing. And so what I did was I think I spit on it right in front of him. I was like, is it still your pizza?
was this during a time
That's
period in
a
your life when you were
savage
consuming
move.
a huge amount of drugs and alcohol?
Why would I be at the Charleston? Yeah, this was
I mean,
back in-
I've been to bars without getting completely lit, although
well, that was-
usually not.
No, it was like 09.
09.
27 maybe.
09 was a crazy year for Scott Marceau.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. What about you guys? You drink a lot? You get loaded?
No.
A little bit here and there?
On
Have
We
a
the
couple
People
beers?
trips. On,
We the People trips. Is there a lot
You
of
always
drinking
drink
going
on trips for sure,
Dude,
more than normal. I feel
yes.
like.
I've noticed this, that it
dude,
seems like there's always a lot of drinking going on.
Anytime we'd be in the van on the We the People trip, like Dylan and Ed would have like a full bottle of vodka, just be passing it around, and like I don't drink much, but they would just be like, "Come on, Dan," like
Well, those
all
Germans,
sincere doing it, like.
Well, see, now I just realize how fucked up it is that I'm like making weird like Holocaust references and he rides for a German BMX company.
That is kind of fun.
And now this
We're gonna
feels
cut
weird.
this
Maybe I
whole
should
thing.
edit this out as
Yeah.
well. No, I'm not leaving it all in. I don't care. No, but those Germans, they love to drink. It's
They
a fact.
fucking love the
They
drink.
really do, yeah.
Yes.
I've looked at the We the People videos, and before, like, the one with Dylan said the fucking funniest thing in one of the recent videos. He goes, "Yeah, they got a lot of meat and a lot of bread, and I haven't eaten a lot of bread in my life, but the meat was good." And I'm like, "You haven't eaten bread? What do you? I see you eat sandwiches every day, you fucking weirdo."
Yeah.
But is that
He
true?
needs all that meat.
There was just tons of meat in the German lifestyle out there, or what?
I've never been to Germany.
Oh,
but
you weren't on that trip. What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't fucking know.
They got brats.
What is brats?
Brats, we got those in Wisconsin.
Some sort of sausage.
Yeah, it's just like a sausage with like some shitty like
Filling.
coating thing.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah. Dylan Lloyd doesn't drink that much when he hangs out with us, but I feel like he goes on these trips and he gets lit.
You
dude.
have
Oh, yeah.
to drink on a trip though. Everyone's just vibing and shit.
In the We the People East Coast edit, like the first clip of him, he's doing all those push-ups.
Right.
Yeah, he was a little.
OSS trips, I do everything I can to like minimize the drinking, but then there will just be like absurd weed consumption.
See, that's a whole
Both
different
are.
ball game. There.
We're driving around with felonies on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You guys, you smoke weed? Wink,
no
wink. Okay,
comment.
I hear you. Morgan?
I mean, yeah,
A little bit here and there, right? Yeah. Wink, wink.
sure. Definitely smoke more than I drink.
Well, then you guys are cool in my book. All right. Any last words you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
Shout out to my sponsors.
Shout out to the sponsors.
You have
We the
to throw
People,
it out.
Madeira, MPEG.
MPEG.
Yeah.
Anyone?
It's
Who
the
else
crew.
helps you out? Anybody else, or is that
Cement
it?
Face.
Cement Face.
Four Seasons Skate Park.
Right. Okay.
But that's
Morgan.
Shout out to all the sponsors: Fit, Dance Comp, Cement Face, all the homies.
There you go. I think this was a very illuminating interview. People are going to learn a lot about two of the heavy hitters from the Midwest making moves out here. Dan, are you going to move here?
That's how it's ending right now. That's good. It's
The
perfect.
girl, I mean, you don't have to move here because everybody
I mean,
lives
I've
here.
been telling them all week, like, yo, you've been coming. I mean, everything's kind of lined up. You
Yeah,
might
no,
as
hey,
well.
let's let them figure it out once the winter hits up there, huh?
yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of screwed because Grant is moving here actually.
Exactly. Another
So,
reason to move here.
now
Grant's going to be
I
here
don't really
sucking
have
on
a
a Magnum.
filmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hinkens is in.
Hinkens moved to
gone in
DC.
right?
Is
Yeah.
it DC or is he doing some crazy?
He's going international
He
too.
he's living in DC for right now until his wife figures out like where the fuck she's gonna go in the world. She's like she works for the government doing some crazy stuff.
She's like a diplomat or
Yeah,
ambassador or
yeah,
something.
diplomat.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike Hinkins, wife and boss
Breadwinner.
bitches with good careers. I don't even know what's that all about. Yeah.
Yeah, but who else would he be wifing? You know, that's Hinkens.
Yeah, look at
Wow.
Hinkins. He's like Obama. You know,
super
he's
clean cut.
the ruler of the roost. He's the alpha male. Is he a Republican? I don't think so.
I don't know.
No
Not with
idea.
that haircut. No way. this podcast is not going to be that interesting for people who don't know about Mike Hinkins.
Yeah,
Go back, do some
we
research.
should do a Mike Hinkins podcast.
Oh, I'm 1,000%
Yo, wait,
down.
I text Jeff K. See if he's coming out.
There was like an event. Oh no, you
He
know what?
just say shit.
I tried to tell Hinkins. I tried to tell him, yo, Grant is doing an interview. Buy yourself a fucking plane ticket and come out
Yeah,
here
yeah,
for like
that's what
2
he's talking
days and
about.
just hang out with us and do the interview. And he almost did it, but then
Yeah.
something came up that he couldn't do it. But
Some school shit.
I was like, Hinkins, this is worth it. You and Grant need to be on a podcast together.
Dude.
Buy the $200 flight. Get out
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
I feel like they should have to do a podcast.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
need to.
Duo.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
They're gay lovers, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've seen
No?
them make. I've seen them make out.
Really?
No.
I would pay for that footage. All right. Thank you very much to my co-host Scott Marceau. Thank you for the interns coming through, the mentors, the mentorees. Shout out to Tony the Cat walking around waving his fucking tail. Shout out to Morgan Long, Fit, Dance Comp, Cement Face, We the People, Madeira, Dan Kruk. How good at Crooks are you?
I've gotten better at them.
Do you feel you have to get better at them?
Actually,
Because
yes. Because a lot of people have said with that last name, you must be good at Crooks.
Right.
So I've just been practicing them.
Like if you were really bad at them, you would have to do some explaining. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that trick.
Yeah. And that's how it was for a while, but
I used to ride with this guy Brian Doublepeg, and life was hard. All right, thank you very much, guys. Subscribe to us on YouTube or SoundCloud or iTunes or whatever, and check out ONSOMESHIT.com, theComeUp.com, and Scott Marceau's Backpage account
and follow me on Instagram at Dan Kruk BMX.
Yo, Morgan Long.
at Yo Morgan Long. Yo is spelled Y-O. Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.
What is backdoor?
Backpage.
What is backpage?
Yo, it sounds so much different.
Yeah, I feel dead.
It's like where girls go to sell themselves.